obstacles to harm me, and those great obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May the experience happiness be separate from suffering and safely. Always to legitimate in the still ones of us, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. Oh, Mother Saint Jean beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstacles who harm me, and those great obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May the experience happiness be separate from suffering and safely. Always to legitimate in the still ones of us, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. Dala, don't worry, no parasipege. Torbo dong dom jen jembe barde ju paraseba dom je je zo sebe. Manam ka dang nyambe sem jen dom je dewa dang de. Dung hara dang ra nyur de la na me ba yang do. Zobe san jo rum bo je do parasa. The Sandra achieving like dreaming, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Under death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. We take refuge in the kind rule of my lineage lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the mandalas of Yadams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Nagasadakinis and the Dhammagadins, possessors of the high or wisdom. Under I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas, I take refuge in the Dharma and the likewise in the example of the Bodhisattvas, as the previous Buddhas and best enlightened mind and the progress on the Bodhisattvas path. Two, for the benefit of all sentient beings, giving birth to Bodhicitta and apply myself to complete the stage of the path. And the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge under enlightenment, reached by the merit of generosity and the good deeds. May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all Mother sentient beings, wonderless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering, the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in calamity, free from attachment and aversion. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faith of our mind toward Tathagatas and the 10 directions. Those have entire reaching Tathagata state, those are reaching it at the present, and those Tathagata state to come. Through the power of Samadabhara's prayers, may all Buddhas manifesting in my mind. I prostrate to them, multiplying my body as many times as the atoms of the earth. Each atom I visualize as many Buddhas as the atoms, surrounded by countless Bodhisattvas, thus all space is filled with the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through manifesting, chanting, expressing the great ocean of the excellent qualities. To all Buddhas, I make offerings of arrows, pure flowers, flower garlands of music, honoring oils, manifesting the indifferent incense. I make offering to the fine garment and perform the proverb for the highest moment and arrange the most beautiful way. Is I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings and offer them with great faith to all Buddhas. I prostrate to Buddhas and make offering to them following the deeds of great Bodhisattva Samadabhara. I confess to your Buddhas whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all Buddhas and the 10 directions of great Bodhisattva and the Pachika Buddhas, those have entire Arasha, those have entire the path of Arasha and other beings. Arikos to great Buddhas, Buddhas to turn the highest way over Dharmas, the light dispelling the darkness of beings and the 10 directions, leading them gradually to the enlightened states. I supplicate those Buddhas intend to pass into Parinavana to living long for as many years as the atoms of the earth in order to benefit all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, and confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of enlightenment of all sentient beings, all these are dedicated. The ground is sprinkling with the scented water and the strewn with the flowers. It is adorned with the meru, the spring mountain, the four continents, the sun, the moon, as the Buddha fell for it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha first. To the Lama who possesses the three kayas of offerings, with my body, birth, and all that is visible, please grant me the supreme realization enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of enlightenment of all sentient beings, all these are dedicated. Om Guru Rina Mandala Bunza Manga Samanda Savarina Samaya Hong. I call for you, no me of the world. Your fame provides the 3,000 words. You are the victor, Varjadara Vidoto. I boy the feet of Father Jitin Songun. Continue laughing with no one but you. Compassion, one grant your blessing. This bad darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize all the better nature of mine. Please turn the way of the Dharma of the Travagars and the combination according to disposition and likewise the mental capacity of sentient beings. His wisdom is brilliant like the sun, free of clothes of true verse and perceive the various steps of knowledge in the true nature. For this reason, he holds wisdom, takes at his heart, he has a compassion. For beings who suffer from the darkness of ignorance and the prison of samsara, as a father from only son. Like a thundercloud awakens those that sleeping ignorance and losing the charm of karma through the 60 branch of Araman speech. He wears wisdom sword to cast settling over suffering to despair, darkness of confusion. And the Bodhisattva form is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplished in the 10 levels and the perfect in the body of all knowledge. I supplicate you, Major, adorned by the 112 Son of Buddha to dispel darkness of my ignorance. You who are Arapasana, Deum Arapasana, Deum Arapasana, Deum Arapasana, Deum Arapasana, Deum Arapasana. Deum Arapasana, 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 Deum Wangeshoramo, 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 Wangeshoramo. Wange Joromo, Wange Joromo, Wange Joromo, Wange Joromo, Wange Joromo. Wange Joromo. You who are the perfect, youthful body, whose flame of wisdom blazes, and the dispel darkness of all the ignorance, are posted before you in the praise to Manjushiri. 用那个人将外部一些中美拉登巴，一定的我们所万将把了样上座儿度。当个都也要也人生中间这么多的这风景。Sarjalam Bodhavara Jiva Gushaja Jarve Jala Zorwande Dokyen Janjen De Lo Naro Marpai Malai Chija Gambo Vamo Java Jarwa Indigong Kaja Lama Nalai Zorwande Rome Jija Yanja Vodane Thế sống sang chế kênh chế ngô nhẹ ràng sinh chế cơ ngô sống tôn tế sa về làm ê ya lai so roan đê. Good morning, everyone. So teaching is Nagarjuna's letter to our friends. Then Nagarjuna letter to his friend has, this teaching has beginning, middle, and conclusion, 3 sections. So we finished the first section. We are in the main teaching, second section. Second section has many verses. So today we are I think 43 verses, correct? Or maybe 42 verses. No, 43 verses, I think. Just nobody say anything.
I think he finished
44.
think you're
44? I thought it's 43.
We finished 42 at the end of class.
Okay. So now we are in the 43, right? Then
I have notes on 43. It's
Okay.
always good. It's always
Yes.
good to hear it again.
Yes, me too. I wrote down that first 44 we would do next time.
okay, we
I
finished.
also have notes.
We finished 43. I remember. No, I remember. My memory come back. Thank you. So now we are in the 40 then 4. So 44 verses. Nagarjuna sharing this 44 is 5 different kind of obstacle. So these 5 obstacles, taking our virtuous deeds, the stealing virtuous deeds. So we call 5 thief. 5 thief taking away from us virtuous deeds. That's why we have to know these 5 different kind of obstacle, and we don't let them stealing our virtuous deeds. The 5 obstacle is, first one is worldliness. Worldliness is like, I don't know much, but I think looks like too much laughing, right? And kind of wired, too wired, no calm. So Dharma practitioner means must calm, relax, and mindful. If it's too wired, then no calm, no relax, too much thoughts. When thoughts come to the mouth to saying same together. So I think that is called the wiredness. And remorse. Then some has so much remorse themselves, like, always think I did wrong and I cannot do, no courage enough, I think. So not only anything courage to do things. That is a remorse. Yeah. And hate for thoughts. Then, intention is not good. Always want to harm for others, like, like to create negative things. So that's called hate for thoughts. And the dawn is the simulance. Then mind is no sharp, no wisdom, kind of more draw, sleepy, and all the time, like just the drawing, the focus of samsaric things, no any spiritual, thinking or, try to do something, good things. So that's called drawnness, somnolence. Then the last one, and yearning just, and dropped. So it's also it's a yearning lost and drops. So lots of drops about doing things. There talk about the 5, kind of like more than 5 here included together. So these are hindrances please know these 5 are thieves that stir the gem of virtuous deeds. And these 5 of this, no, we cannot say directly negative, no virtuous, but these 5 of this, then if the power of this 5, we can't do like good things, because spirit, ourselves is more taking in us to in the more samsara, no spiritual path, taking us to samsara's path. So that's why it's, this 5 is indirectly called no virtuous, not directly, because directly means like you humming for hit someone, right? Killing someone is called directly no virtuous. But this one not really directly no virtue. This can be causes of no virtuous deeds. This is can be causes of losing our virtuous deeds. So that's why when arise, like when come to in this our mind, and then you have to recognize. So no, I'm too wired, or I have too remorse. And the remorse is not a remorse for negative deeds. The remorse is like just always yourself is put down yourself. You always think I'm doing no good, I cannot do anything, so good things. You don't have enough courages. So that kind of, like then come into your mind, you cannot do good activities. So that's why it's 5 are thieves that stir the gem of virtuous deeds. So this, long as this 5 negative is into our mind, then virtuous deeds not possible arising, because this block the quality, enlightening door is blocked. So that's why we have to recognize when this come to 5, we have to release this 5. Then 44. So this one is positive. First 44, 5 of them is negative, and we have to give up 5 of this. So no 45, 5 of this we have to apply. We have to cultivate, we have to practice this 5 of this. 45 with faith and diligence and mindfulness. So faith is is when you practice Dharma, most important faith is. But when you using the intellectual, investigating, study Dharma, then we don't talk about faith is important. That time, just faith is not important, but the most important is your logic investigation. Using, knowledge. You can research what is right, what is wrong. So, you have to use your own knowledge, understanding. That's the most important. But then when you're going to practice Dharma, so faith is the most important. Without a faith, then you really cannot get any connections to the spiritual. So that's why when we practice the Dharma with faith and diligence, so joyfully effort, happy to do, very happy and joy, enthusiasm. So for the spiritual practice, not the samsaric, activity. Samsaric beings has enough diligence for samsaric activity. But this one we're talking about spiritual dharma, something create a causes of happiness. Then we need diligence. And then third is mindfulness. Mindful is recognize what we're doing, right or wrong. So then mindful guide, every our body, speech, mind activity, step by step, mindfulness guide everything. Without a mindful, then even we are Dharma practitioner, but we create negative things. So that's the reason mindful is always guide for same is a police. Yeah, for this is we have to use for our own police is mindfulness. And the concentration, then there's a meditation. Concentration, your mind always be present and aware of everything, recognize. No unconscious, right? Is losing consciousness, and your mind is too much thoughts, follow the, past and the future. So then that is incorrect. That's why we need concentration, like calm, mind, be present, and, recognize thoughts, emotions, concentration. So then wisdom is recognize true nature. So usually when we share the Dharma, talk about the true truth, relative truth and absolute truth. So what is relative truth? What is absolute truth? So we have to knowing, relative truth, the cause and effect. We have to know absolute truth, the true nature of phenomena. Or the true nature of phenomena, absolute truth is emptiness. Nothing is true exist, or is same as dreaming, delusion, is called emptiness. So we have to know that knowing that knowledge is called wisdom. Then five in all. So these five of them, you must strive hard to reach the highest state. So we have to apply this five of practice, faith, diligence, mindful, concentration, wisdom. So we have to apply five of this. So these five of this take us highest state, reach the highest state means. So in the part we have talk about accumulation, merit part, engaging part, seeing part, meditation part, new learning part. It's called five part. And then when you reach into the engaging part, so engaging part has 4 different levels actually. So then this here mentioned about long as you practice this, five of this virtuous or just positive and this dharma, five of this we apply, practice. This take us to the engaging part and the highest level. Engaging part take us highest level, then easy to get into the seeing part. So this part is more details about in each one, then go more deeper. I mean the detail explain, then it's very complicated part, because here is a talk about highest state as power. This force take you to the peak. Means what means the highest state, right? Highest state is in the engaging part, they have 4 different levels. And the last one is called highest state. So then you reach that level is in the relative truly we are highest level. And you go beyond that, then it's called absolute true state. So that's the followed by the Maya Minka tradition, these different levels, 5 part and the 10 permits. So that time we talk about this, the highest state. So as powers, these 4 take to the peak. This, long as you have faith, diligent, mindful, concentration, wisdom, so taking you to the highest level, that path. Here is Nagarjuna sharing is like kind of more basic, 5 of these. Actually, then meditation, wisdom can be, absolute truth, can be worldly, highest level meditation, worldly, highest level wisdom. So this is the high, I think, worldly highest level meditation and wisdom level. So we talk about the true truth, like relative true, absolute truth. So if you go beyond in this, then it's called absolute truth. Absolute truth, meditation and wisdom is recognized true nature. In this one, just knowing, what is right, what is wrong, wisdom. And the meditation also more, kind of like shamatha part levels. Not, I think, talking about the vipassana and talking about the Mahamudra level. So then 46 is Nagarjuna sharing is cause and effect. So his sharing is like karma, cause and effect. Who create the karma, cause and effect? So we create ourselves. So that's why we have to recognize who create our suffering. So we create our own suffering. I'm not beyond my karma, so we are not beyond our karma. The deeds I have done. So all this karma we create. When we create our own karma, then the result is come to for us, not for someone, for others. So also last way we share, who create no virtuous deeds, you cannot share to someone. Even you create no virtuous deeds for your parents and your teacher, and it doesn't matter you did someone for someone, but the negative is come, result suffering is come to us. So that's why Nagarjuna said, don't create a negative karma, for do reason for your parents or teachers, anyone. And so then I'm not beyond my karma means like we are not free from karma. One day we can be free from karma because it can be beyond my karma. So long as we have a delusion, then we are not free from karma. The deeds I have done, so then karma is we did, the results come to us. Our stir far air, so the negative karma is what happened is as our stir far air means like we get sick. Why we get sick? And due to negative karma. Age, and then human beings suffering, old age, and die. So we have like birth suffering, we have illness suffering, we have old age suffering, we have death sufferings. And die and leave my friends. When we die, so we left behind all our friends and the loved ones. So then think like this again and yet again. So we have to think about this cause and effect, cultivate, think again and again. And with this, remedy, avoid or arrogance. So you thinking about cause and effect again and again. They help us, reduce our ego. So then we recognize, we are still stuck under the karma. And even we, within our human being realm, so like we have good conditions, everything, but we are still not beyond the our karma. So we have this illness, die, old age, sickness that is coming anyway. So you recognize that, then you don't think about like I am this some important person, I have like great everything, I don't care about any others. So that kind of arrogance is reduced, because this you cultivate cause and effect is antidote to our arrogance. So long as we have arrogance, then what is the problem? We have to know what is problem. Problem is, then you don't get any good qualities. You never receive any spiritual qualities, long as you have arrogance. So we have to reduce our arrogance. How do we reduce our arrogance? Have to cultivate cause and effect. Cultivate effect, then remedy, avoid all arrogance. That's a cause and effect. We have to think. Karma, karma is we are creator. So that's why karma take us in samsara, reborn and again. Never finish, this kind of suffering, never end until karma is exhausted, or you realize, become beyond the, you go beyond your own karma. So then karma cannot affect it to you. So then sometimes like we have lots of questions about this, karma. So if we have to purify all karma in this life, then get realization, or even you have negative karma, you get realized. What that kind of, have people questions, right? We have thoughts of that. Do you? So actually, even purify all karma, but you can achieve to reborn to the Devachin. Long as you take birth in Devachin, then you can purify karma in Devachin purely, Buddha Amitabha purely, because you all have good conditions there. You don't have any negative conditions. All is spiritual positive conditions, 100%. So I thought, I don't remember if I went there. I don't think so I went there, but I follow by the, teachings. Yeah. So they have 100% loosely, okay, good conditions. And then you can purify karma there very easy. And you can enlightenment in that, Buddha Amitabha purely. So that's why if we not realize in this life, we are wishing to reborn to Buddha Amitabha purely. If you realize that in this life, you purify your all karma. Because when sun shines, then darkness not possible live any place. So realize the realization is the same as the sun shining, right? Sun shines, then you cannot hide somewhere darkness. So it's naturally gone. That's why you know, Telopa telling to Naropa in the Genji Mahamudra, you recognize, you know, your own nature, realize. So then eons negative karma is dispelled. Hopefully you remember that, you know. So, you know, long as you realize Mahamudra, then all negative karma is naturally dispelled, gone. So Mahamudra realization is the same as the sun, right? And the other practice is the same as the legs and toes, lungs. So they also have a power to see their own path, see clear at that moment. But then when your realization, you know, Mahamudra is the same as the sun, all the negative karma is gone. Then you are enlightenment in this life. You don't have to reborn to Devachin. Then doesn't matter where you are, always is Devachin, purely. So that's the, you know, is another like Mahamudra realizes different. In this case, you know, Nagarjuna guide for very simple way. You know, he said, don't create a negative karma. Yeah. Negative karma has, you know, result is a suffering. We don't want the suffering. So you cultivate suffering again and again. You recognize, you create your own suffering, then you don't get to ego, you know, pride. So long as you don't get ego, then you get spiritual qualities. You can receive spiritual quality. So that's the Nagarjuna sharing is a more simple way to this his friends, you know. The next is 47. If highest birth in freedom is your cost, you must become accustomed to right view. So if higher birth in freedom is your cost, like means like you wanting, right? So if you want to liberate, yeah, he said, Nagarjuna said, if you want to liberate, so you must become accustomed to right view, means like we have to recognize the right view. So, you know, it's you know, we are wanted to free from our birth and old age, sickness, suffering. We wanted to liberate. So liberation is only come from realization, right view. Yeah. So that's why Nagarjuna said, if you really want to liberate, free from this negative karma or samsara, he said you must have to look to right view. So custom right views. Then this view is become so many different religions. So, you know, all this religion has, all this religion, you know, talk about a view, then that's why it's all different. The religion come from, you know, in the non-Buddhist, there says like 360 different religions, 360 religions, non-Buddhist section. So there mostly all these religions is like belief, you know, two extremes like, you know, I think, you know, nihilism, internalism, right? Nihilism, they don't believe past and future. So they only do things like this life. It's called nihilism. They don't follow the cause and effect. Then another is like, you know, internalism is always permanent gods. You know, the power, the creator. So all this religion is subsumed to mostly in these two categories. the Nagarjuna, he is the first Buddhist philosopher scientist. He debated with all these religions, comparing all this religion with the Buddha's teaching. So then within Buddhists, we have 5 schools. So four schools. I think you know, so like, you know, Vibhashika, Satantrika, and the 2 Vinayana tradition, they have a slightly different view. Generally same, but very slightly different view. And then Mahayana section, Chittamatheren, Mind's Gore, and then Mayamika. These 2 is Mahayana school. You know, Chittamatheren, Mayamika. So Nagarjuna is belong to Mayamika tradition. So Nagarjuna debating with Satantrika, Vibhashika. He debated with Chittamatheren. So his teaching is all is Mayamika teaching. So Mayamika teaching is free from all the extremes. Free from all the extremes. So then Nagarjuna shared the teaching, you know, most important, he's sharing, you know, like when he shared the teaching is he focused for the interdependent. So when he talk about, you know, interdependent, he said only Buddha shared this teaching, interdependent. No any other talk about interdependent before. So that's why Nagarjuna recognized interdependent is the, you know, right view. Interdependent means like everything is dependent to each other, not really permanently, inherently exist anything truly there. So the point is we have to recognize emptiness. So that is the right views. Nagarjuna says if you want to liberate, you have to recognize the right view. So other views cannot take to beyond the samsara. So the point is, if we don't recognize emptiness, we are still within in samsara. You cannot go more beyond in samsara. You cannot liberate free from samsara. Okay, so that's why he said we have to find the right view. Those who practice good with inverse views will yet experience terrible result. So those who practice good with inverse views means someone has a wrong view, you know, wrong view, negative view, not right view. So that person doing even something great, good way, but where yet experience terrible result means like you can't free from samsara. Still you are within in samsara. Then, you know, you due to the wrong view, you still in stuck lower realms. So, you know, wrong view result is reborn to, you know, lower realm. And then due to that, you know, experience a terrible result. Yeah. So the point is, long as you have a wrong view and not follow the cause and the effect relatively, truly you don't, of course, we no recognize true nature, that due to the wrong view, and then, you know, reborn to the lower realms. Even we have something good conduct, some you doing good conduct, but still you stuck in samsara, within samsara, especially the lower realms, you don't get you know, happiness. So that's the Nagarjuna say, you know, experience terrible result. The wrong view result is terrible result. Then 48. So 48 is the Nagarjuna sharing. Is we have to recognize everything's impermanent. Know this truth, so we have to know the truth. That me are ever sad, impermanent, devoid of self-impure, so is we have to know this like in coming in this four of this, we have to recognize, we have to know. What do we have to know? We have to know the truth that me are ever sad. So human beings, like we have to think about ourselves. We within 24 hours, how many hours we have happy and joy. So mostly these hours, maybe you don't really suffering, not really sad, but not that happy and pleasant. So your mind is maybe not too peaceful. So much thoughts going on. So that means are ever sad. Yeah, and then some human beings have so much sad. That is also suffering. Then impermanent. So we are human beings, impermanent. Here is talking about like human beings. We have this kind of suffering in samsara, sadness, impermanent, changing everything. Then devoid of self-impure. So we have to know this one. This kind of like situation. We have to understand. Self-impure. We have to recognize. In within, we have to know truth. It's like truth is here is like just point is human beings in samsaric beings oversaid. That is the truth. And then in samsaric beings impermanent. That is truth. And then samsaric beings we have to recognize also. We are Dharma practitioner. We have to recognize devoid of self-impure means we have to know self-I is delusion. Self-I is not exist truly. So we have to know that. Devoid of self-impure. So here is two things going on together. Devoid of self. So we have to recognize self is not exist. Yeah. Third is impure means our body is, we have to recognize not pure. Is our body is impure. So how many there? Said 1, impermanent 2, devoid of self 2, 3, impure is 4. 4 of this we have to recognize. We have to know this truth. It's reality, samsaric reality. So those who do not have close mindfulness, someone who don't have mindful, they don't know this for truth. If you have mindful, for of this, for truth. Because we know samsaric beings oversaid. We know samsaric everything, all the beings are impermanent. We know we don't have self-permanent. Self is delusion. We have to know our body, everything is impure, not pure. Someone who don't have mindful, they don't recognize that. They not have close mindfulness. The view for terms inverted, head for ruin, I think. Okay. So who don't have this mindful, then you recognize the fall of this truth. Their view for terms inverted, is this negative head for ruin, so it's poison, kind of like poison, four of this. So the point is Nargarjuna sharing, yeah, and the most, actually we cannot say most, almost all samsaric beings, no knowing truth. That's why, we have immeasurable suffering in samsara, all the samsaric beings. So head for ruin means like immeasurable suffering. Dharma practitioner need mindful, have to recognize four of this truth. The longer as you know this truth, then you knowing the samsara situation, with knowing, you get knowledge, and then you are become, knowing is you understand, is helps you, recognize truth. So you recognize truth, then you are free from this head for ruin, free from this head for ruin. That's, we have to know the Dharma practitioners. Then next one is very important for the who wanted to know the view, right view, in this 49 verses talk about selflessness of a person. So we talk about usually selflessness of person, selflessness of phenomena, right? Two things. In this one is called selflessness of a person. So Nargarjuna used his intellectual logic, and he said self is not exist. How like we know self is not exist, use this logically. Form is not the self, right? The body is his, Nargarjuna said, no self. Yeah. The Buddha taught. Who say? Buddha Shakyamuni say, this form, body is no self. So then logically approving this form, body cannot be self. We have self is only one, right? One self. This body form is called far elegance and the compound of phenomena. So one self permanent cannot be compound of phenomena, cannot be far aggregates. So one cannot be five, right? Otherwise, no one. So one permanent cannot be compound of phenomena. Body is a compound of phenomena. Self is a permanent. We think usually, other many religions say self is permanent. So Nargarjuna, Buddha says self is not permanent because self is not your body. Yeah. If your body is a self, then you're saying self cannot be body because you're saying self is permanent, but your form is not permanent. Your form body is impermanent. So you're saying the self is a permanent, form impermanent cannot be one. It's contradict. Then self is one permanent, body is many compound of phenomena. So that's why forms are not the self. So that's why when we chant the Heart Sutra, no I, is like I is not self. Okay, like your nose is not self. Your ear is not self. So your hair is not self. Yeah, your tongue is not self. So that way, like you have to follow by all this your body one by one, because your eye cannot be self. Your eye has 4 directions. Self is only one. Then no 4 directions. And eye is changing. Self is cannot be changed because it's a permanent. Yeah, you can close eye, you can open eye, your eyes can be hurt, your eyes can be okay, perfect. This kind of all the time changing means eye is impermanent. Self is cannot be impermanent. Self is like, the other religions, even within and some in the Buddhist like Vibhashika section, there has like also accept the self is permanent, but that's why Nagarjuna debating for them. Self is cannot be permanent. Yeah, if self is permanent, then your body is not self. So body is always a compound of phenomena, impermanent. So it's lots of debating going on there. Then also he says Buddha talked means like he debating with the Hinayana tradition, because Buddha said self is not, form is not self. Buddha taught. There, Hinayana tradition also have to accept what Buddha says. If they don't accept what Nagarjuna says, but they accept what Buddha says. So that's why Nagarjuna only can use Buddha's quote. He cannot use the, what I say, or some other teachers say that this Hinayana tradition, only Buddha's quote they accept. The Nagarjuna debate with others, no Buddhist, he don't use this Buddha talk, right? Then he used the knowledge and, is for logic, debating with them. So then, and the self does not have form. So self does not have form. Self has no form, and no differ in form. While form differs not in self, this you must see the 4 remaining aggregates are empty too. It's this part is a hardest one, in this teaching. So you have to use like your knowledge and more, investigate. If you lose your mind, then you don't know what it's talking about here. That's why you have to like kind of more sharp mind and lot more, subtle level of thinking. So here is like Nagarjuna said, debating is like the 4 remaining, 4 different remaining. It's 4 different ways he debating here. So form is not self, first one. And self does not have form. Second one, self didn't have form. Third one, no differ in form. So, self is not differ in the form. While form differs not in self. See, so while form differs not in self. So that is a 4, right? 4 things. And in this form is like you put in the table, like like, okay, this form is not table, then is this form is the form is not differ in form in the table, while the table is not differ in diverse in not in self, like in the form something, like create this logically. I think you understand. Okay, so the point is self is like you really cannot find it there. These 4 different ways logically, self is not there, then how you can find? But I use the example as form. Form is exists, physically here. But we say, okay, form is can put in the table, or top the table or under the table, so you can have something ideas. But service cannot be any place. So that's why it's used 4 different logics. Then 4 remaining aggregates are empty too, means like not only form. Then Buddha says, feeling is not the self, right? Feeling is not the self. The Buddha taught. Then feeling, consciousness is not the self. Who said? Buddha taught. So Sorwa, Dishi, Dizi, and number Shipa. So it's the another 5, aggregates. I don't remember other ones. I can talk only Tibetan, the 5 of them, but I don't remember the names, other one. So we have to use the same as the form is not the self, then other also one by one, not the self. Who said? Buddha said, Buddha taught. And then you have to use followed by these 4 different, logic ideas. So this 5 aggregates is not the self. Then what is the aggregates are empty too, or this emptiness? There is actually logic is for selflessness of a person. Approve and use this logic. The next one, 50. So no, 50 is Nargarjuna sharing is then where is this our aggregates come from? If self is no exist, then where is the aggregates come from? So the aggregates are not simply him. In this one is he debating with the non-Buddhist schools. So they accept the creator, right? Creator gods. The aggregates are not simply him, means like this. I don't know, like exactly pointing to which one non-Buddhist. So this 5 aggregates is not created by him. So the point is like maybe Shiva or someone, right? Buddha says like no aggregates are not simply him. From neither time nor nature do they come. So then some this no Buddhist scholar says from the time, the self is come from time, 3 times. They say they come from the time. So 3 times then arise, phenomena and the self. So Nagarjuna say from neither time nor time is not creator. Nagarjuna say time is not neither time nor nature. Some the non-Buddhists say everything phenomena and is a self is come from nature. So Nagarjuna say no nature do they come, no they come from, nor by themselves. So not come from themselves, created by themselves, like their own creator is themselves is not followed by the cause and the conditions, permanently themselves creator, not possible by the themselves means. So Buddhist, like, Nagarjuna has sharing is cause and effect is we creator, but is followed by the cause and effect conditions. But in this means no by themselves means no cause and effect followed by independently themselves creator. No. So this one is like not dependent creator. Nagarjuna said no one independently creator. So everything is dependent. Is this one is who saying is like independently creator. Nagarjuna said by not by themselves. From God, so God is no creator independently or without causes, without a cause. Someone said no need to cause. So Nagarjuna said without a cause is also not possible. Their source you ought to know is ignorance. So here is he mentioned about many different traditions. If we go to India, then we have to learn arts, because we have to look to in each religion's source. Who is the teacher? Who's the idea? Why they're saying this? We have to learn that, Then Nagarjuna, why he no agree for them? Then Nagarjuna, use logic and debating. So then comparing these two and Nagarjuna's view, and in this different kind of, here he mentioned about the different names. So who's the different kind of creator, then we have to comparing them, and then, use the logic, understand that saying is not right and not truth. The mostly here is two extremes, nihilism or internalism. So who says without cause is nihilism? Other or is internalism. It means the permanent, independent creator accepting. So that's why this all is not right. Because, 3 times means all change, no independent. I don't know, can you hear or no? Looks like, maybe
Yeah,
everyone
very
meditate.
clearly.
Everyone
temporary,
meditate.
we can hear you. We
It's
can
Okay.
hear
very
you.
clear, very clear.
Looks like everyone maybe paused meditating. Like I can see no one is moving. So the point is, here it the mostly first one is internalism, is the permanent, except. Then the last one is without the cause means nihilism. That's why Nagarjuna said, this all wrong view, no right. No debating with here is a conduct, okay? So conduct part, we don't have to debate. Here is debating is view. So Nagarjuna said we need a right view. Without a right view, you cannot liberate. If you don't know the right view, you cannot liberate. That's why Nagarjuna knows saying right view. So he's sharing is a wrong view. Is you follow the internalism or nihilism is wrong view. Then their source, you ought or quote, I think. To know, you have to know is ignorance. Nagarjuna say the source is ignorance. Not source is aggregates or him or time or nature or themselves or God or without a cause. There he said all is incorrect. All this inner sentient beings source is ignorance. So now it's go to traveling interdependent. Ignorance from karmic deeds and curving have the come. see, long as we have ignorance, then karmic deeds. We have created karmic deeds and then namshi sikpa. Then curving have their come means they become, we have to create curving is, I think, is grasping, right? Kind of more fixation. Yes, desire, right? Desire, curving, wanting. So then this followed, like traveling interdependent. I think traveling interdependent, he explained somewhere else here. They also traveling interdependent in the supplication paras, the commentary I have explained this traveling interdependent. It's long time ago, so I forget one by one. If not in there, I cannot share because I forget it's one by one. So kind of I can chant the Tibetan way, but English is, I cannot explain. So if you wanted to know, so I think we have coming here, so then we have to follow when it comes one by one. So it's the point is like Nargarjuna said, traveling, starting from ignorance. Then all these samsaric beings arising from, come from, have they come. Then 51 is also the wrong view. He said, long as you have this wrong view, is you block the door for the liberation. This these wrong views are obstacle for liberation. So that's what he's sharing here. So what is the three, he says three, mention about the three of them block the door to liberation. First one is to fear that one is ethical superior. So ethical superior, to view one's body wrongly and to doubt. With these three features, you should understand the way through freedom is city gates is blocked. Okay. So first one, we have to think about this. To fear that one is ethical superior. Ethical superior means like my conduct is perfect. So that's called superior, right? And in this case, we have to know, we have a ethical discipline, we have a right view, right view, right? And conduct and view. So we follow the conduct and view. All the Buddha's teaching is subsumed to actually two categories, conduct and view. So now here, conduct part has a relatively right, then go up to absolutely wrong. That's see, is conduct is relatively conduct right is, the each tradition doesn't matter like Buddhist or non-Buddhist, they follow their own tradition very strong. Everyone think my conduct is right? They hold their own conduct very strong, but kind of a fixation to their own conduct. Then relatively their conduct is right, but it's still you stuck fixation, grasping your own conduct. That's why you cannot liberate. It's you know, that conduct is block your your liberation. So that conduct is comparing to right view, then that conduct is incorrect. But followed by relatively right conduct is good. So what this conduct helps, you take rebirth higher realms. You have good conduct. So example, like, you know, Buddhist monks like think, okay, I am Buddhist monk. I have to follow this, like, you know, conduct. They're holding very strong, their fixation to that. So it's good in that moment. I mean, that is really good for the relatively, but for liberation, you know, for view, no. Why? Think about it. You know, Nagarjuna say, you long as you don't have a right view, you cannot liberate, right? And even you have good conduct, you cannot liberate. So the point is, yeah. And then the conduct perception have to change. You cannot like attach fixation to your own conduct. You thinking about my conduct is perfect. I am good, you know, I have good conduct. Long as you have that arrogance, you have that fixation. So you cannot liberate. You are good, the conduct has good result. You reborn to highest realms in within samsara. But still in samsara, you cannot go more beyond the samsara. So that's why Nagarjuna says, to fear that one is ethical superior is also obstacle for the liberation. Okay. To the view one's body wrongly means so you recognize your body is like wrong view. You know, so the wrong view is wrongly means like I think, you know, your body is like I and the self. You know, like already Nagarjuna talk up, their body is not self, right? Form is not self. We think our body, this is I and the self. Then that is wrong view. Wrongly, I think, you know, not incorrect, because body is not self, right? If long as you have that kind of, you know, perception or strong view, you cannot liberate. So that means like all these new Buddhists he mentioned about the many, they cannot liberate. They have a strong, you know, fixation to their ethical spiral. And then they have like, you know, thinking about the self is permanent, exist. So then if self is permanent, self is exist, must be your form body, you know, then that thing is like body is self, but bodies cannot be self. The logically bodies cannot be self. So long as you have that, you know, view, your body is yourself, then wrongly. And dropped means like you're dropped about your view, you know, you don't have like certainty yourself. So then that three is obstacle for liberation. With these three factors, you should understand, we have to know that the way through freedom is a city gate is blocked. So, you know, liberation door is blocked. So you cannot get into liberation city. You still stuck in the samsara city. Then in this one, you know, like he's talking about the three obstacles. These three obstacles, no obstacle for the lower realms, you know. This kind of view not bring you to the lower realms, but this one cannot obstacle for the liberation means higher realms, like only reborn there, you cannot go more beyond that. Obstacle means many different levels. Yeah. And this obstacle is liberation obstacle. not obstacle to reborn higher realms, no obstacle for free from lower realms. Then 52. This one, many Buddhist philosophers use in this quote is very famous. Freedom will depend on you alone. And there is no one else, no friends can help. So bring endeavor to the Four Noble Truths with study, discipline, and concentration. Okay. Freedom where depending on you alone means like liberation is for up to us. The Buddha, he cannot liberate us. That already Buddha talked, right? He said, I cannot liberate you. I can show you the right path. I cannot pour you down to lower realms, and I can support you, but I cannot, help means like liberating. If you don't do anything, only rely on 100% Buddha. So, then Buddha said, I cannot help you means 100% you cannot rely on me. You have to rely on yourself. I can support you, like the point is you can support you. That's why freedom will depending on your alone means like freedom is for depending on you alone. So up to us. So think about if you never go to school, then how teachers can give you the education, right? Really good school, good teacher, good subject, and you can go to use that everything you can learn is think about it freely, you can have all this everything, but you never accept. Then you never get the education, right? So education is depending on you alone means like if you don't go to school, then no one can put you, the memory is like transformed to your brain. That's why education, also up to us. Then freedom also up to us. If you don't want to, you don't never, put effort, practice, then the enlightened beings, we cannot, liberate us. And there is no one else, no one can take you to liberate. Otherwise, people can buy liberation. If you don't have to do depending on someone, right? Someone can help. So then there must have the cost for liberation. Like, okay, you have this kind of, money, you can buy liberation. So you cannot buy liberation. So liberation is actually everyone has opportunity. Everyone has possible to liberate. That's why it's up to us. And there's no one else, no friend can help you. So no one can help you. Someone buy liberation to give it to you, give, not possible. So bring endeavor to the Four Noble Truths. So then the Nargarjuna say you have to put effort for practice Four Noble Truths. Use Four Noble Truths with study, discipline, and concentration. So now you also have to know, here say we need discipline, but up there say discipline also obstacle, right? You have to know this, no contradiction. Up there saying ethical discipline is, you have fixation to your ethical discipline, grasping. You're thinking about mine is right, other or is wrong. So is called pride, to pride, you know, ego displaying is obstacle to the liberation. Here is displaying means like you follow good conduct and follow the cause and the effect. So that's what bring Four Noble practice, Four Noble Truths with study, discipline, and concentration. So we need, you know, understanding Four Noble Truths, and then follow the meditation, follow the conduct, have to, you know, receive the teaching, study. So that's the most important, knowing, you know, knowing the right view, truth. Then next one, 453, train always in superior discipline, superior wisdom, and superior mind. Monks' vows exceed 105 tenths, yet they are all included in these three. Okay, so now you really see this contradiction, right? Superior conduct is not great up there, so now he says we need superior conduct. Do you understand or no? But it's a different superior, okay? Other one is more negative superior. This one is positive superior. Tanning always, like, you know, three tannings, like Nagarjuna said, we have to follow by three tannings. Is a superior discipline, right conduct. You know, right conduct is with actually wisdom is called right conduct, with wisdom. Without wisdom, you know, you have strong fixation to your conduct, grasping, not knowing truth, then that is, you know, ego superior conduct. But this one is called superior conduct is with the right view, superior conduct, discipline, superior discipline. And the superior wisdom, so then, you know, not only relatively worldly wisdom, this one is absolute true wisdom, superior wisdom. You know, knowing true nature wisdom. And the superior mind is a meditation, you know, concentration. Spiritual mind means like you knowing how to meditate, like you can control your mind. So this is spiritual mind. And then monks' vows exceed 105 tenths. So then actually, you know, Vinayana tradition, the monks have to follow by 105 tenths. So what means 5 tenths? I think it's 50, right? 5 tenths means 50. So 150. Actually, they have 153 vowels. So all these 153 vowels are subsumed to in these three. Is spiritual discipline, spiritual wisdom, spiritual, you know, meditation. Yet they are all included in these three, means like all this subsumed into these three categories. So long as you follow these three tenets, then you practice all these 153 vowels included there. That's why we have many different tenets. So all is subsumed into these three. Then we talk about the 6 parameter, 6 parameter also subsumed to in these three. $53. No, it's 54. $54 is, my Lord, the Buddha taught, to close mindfulness of body as the single part to treat. Hold fast and guard it well, for all the Dharma is destroyed by loss of mindfulness. So 54 is specifically talk about mindful is important, mindfulness practice. My Lord means like Nagarjuna said, my Lord, Buddha Shakyamuni, he said Buddha talked. So close mindfulness of body as the single part to treat. So mindful is only, help you guide to enlightenment. Right? Is correct? Yeah, mindful is help you to liberation, guide you, liberation. So I told you, when we're starting the teaching, mindful is the same as our police. When you drive on the road, police with you, so you really watch your speed, right? And so police is somewhere in the city, like towns, like everyone follow just correctly. Then same, like when we journey, spiritual journey, so we need mindful police guide. Always like recognize what is right, what is wrong. Mindfulness of body as the single part to treat. So this mindful is take us to enlightenment. So that's why hold fast and guide means like we have to really hold mindfulness, guide for us. It will. So if you lose your mindful, then for all the Dharma is destroyed by loss of mindfulness. So you're losing all your qualities, your practice without mindful. That's why, mindful have to guide for us, enlightenment. It's mindfulness is our protection, true protection. Part to hold us high God is wherefore Dharma is destroyed by loss of mindfulness. If no mindful, then lose all our, qualities. That's why we have to hold the mindful always. Mindful meditation. Then next one is 55 is talk about impermanent. So this, we have to use always thing again and again. It's really help you reduce your self-grasping, fixations. With all its many risks, this life endures. No more than wind blow bubble in a stream. So in this life, we have to look to ourselves. So many life endures. So many for life obstacles. So it's unbelievable, right? Life obstacles. But you know, amazingly, we survived until now. So we have to think really amazing who get 80 years old. That's why we have to big celebrate when you get 80 years. Yeah. So many, you know, this in life indoors means like obstacles, life obstacles. The you know, countless. No more than wind blow bubble in a stream. See, like wind blowing the water, right? Streaming. So many bubbles, like rankings, right, in the water, shaking and removed, come back again, removed, come back again. So wind blowing, I think, you know, that's kind of, you know, it's impermanent. Our life is. So how marvelous, see, marvelous to breathe in and out again. It's Nagarjuna, he says, marvelous. See, we are marvelous. We can breathe in and we can breathe out. So then also in and out again. To fall asleep and then awake fresh. So you go for sleep and you wake up again. No obstacle like for the life indoors there. That is marvelous. Then, you know, when we left the home, drive the car, come back home, is actually it's marvelous. You know, your journey is come back home. And when we take the airplane and, you know, landing is marvelous, right? And you go to the mall, come back home, is marvelous. You go to the work and you come back home, is marvelous. So think about so many for life obstacles. We don't know, you know, everything's uncertainty. So much changing and permanent. So that's why Nagarjuna said we have to think about ourselves, meditate, how impermanent. Then this really helps. No fixation, grasping, you know, less grasping, less attachment. So you cultivate and think about this again and again, then your mind is more relaxed. Because our mind is not relaxed, its reason is so strong fixation, attachment. Yeah. So you knowing all this impermanent, less attachment fixations, become your mind is relaxed. It's really helpful. When you also have something problem, difficulties, you know, dealing with the situation, difficulties, you cultivate this one, everything is impermanent, changing, you know. So we dealing with the difficult situations, how many times our previous, you know, until today to when we was born, until no. So now you think about all is the same as dreaming, you know, delusion. So maybe you just only memorize, like you can see some pictures, maybe something like that. Nothing is you can show up. It's all gone. So, you know, like past lifetime, no past life, they're too long for us. You know, we just think about in this life, within in this life, past in within this life, we're dealing with so many hard situations. Some situations we are winners, some situations we are loser. But when we are so happy and when we lose, so sad, but no look back again, both are equal. Nothing is there. Truly, it's both a delusion, same. So no, you look back, that time winner, no benefit. That time loser, lose something, nothing actually affected. You know, maybe it's become the lose, it helps you change life. So same, you know what, rest of our life is the same like that. Nothing different, anything that. So when you're dealing with it hard and difficult situations, you start suffering, you cultivate this one. It's really good, you know, then you have more relaxed your mindful, then you know what is right, what is wrong. Otherwise, you so strong fixation, you don't recognize what is right, what is wrong, really humming to yourself, or you really doing good thing for yourself, you don't recognize because due to fixation and emotions. Yeah, that's always happening for us. Are you believe or no? Okay, some say yes, I agreed. So majority agreed. So I'm happy then. So we don't have to agree 100%. So long as majority agree, then it's good. Then next one. 56. So this body ends as ash, dry dust, or slime, and automatically shit, no essence left. Consumed, evaporated, I don't know, rooted down, thus know its nature to disintegrate or disintegrate. Okay, so no, this is right and the truth, you know, but people don't accept. We don't like to hear this because of fixation, attachment, right? But actually it's a true reality. And right now, how many people live in this earth? 100 years after, no one being this right now live in the earth, these human beings. Everyone is the same, is like this become. 100 years is not too long, you know, because no one can stop the time. If you can stop the time, then 100 years can be really long. But we cannot stop the time. Then some reasons, like, you know, maybe called degeneration time, we don't know, but the time is so fast moving. You know, maybe 30 years ago, your one day is right now is kind of 1 week. You know, 30, 40 years ago, your 1 month is right now is the same as 1 year. So that kind of, you know, is changing. We don't recognize because, you know, in this box, it flies, some is here, I heard the noises. So their life is very short, but for them, they don't recognize that. You know, one day is their life is one whole life, some bugs, but they don't fear that too short. You know, time also dependent too. And we are same as the bugs. Our perception, we think 100 years is really long, but it's actually, you know, another realm in this human being realm, 100 years very short. So maybe you know, so like Asanga, you know, another philosopher Asanga is a kind of same as Nagarjuna. So there are two branches, Nagarjuna tradition, Asanga tradition, right? So Buddha Shakyamuni shared the teaching, the lineage holders Manjushri then received Nagarjuna teaching received from Manjushri is wisdom lineage. Buddha Shakyamuni's teaching lineage holders Buddha Maitreya, and the Asanga received from Buddha Maitreya is lineage is called method lineage, method. So method, wisdom, two lineages. Okay. And Asanga received teaching from Buddha Maitreya. He went to the heaven somewhere where the, you know, like Buddha Maitreya resigned. And then Asanga spent only 1 morning there. He come back in this earth already 50 years gone. So the time is also dependent. No, we think, you know, like our life is really long, but it's really short. Right now, what today I'm sharing you right now, teaching. Tomorrow is only memorized, you know, already yesterday. Next week, already last week. Right? Next year is already last year. Then that's it. So right now, we just say, okay, right now, present. Okay, think about this. Don't forget. This is cannot be, okay, too long. Very short. Yeah, change easily. So comes tomorrow very fast. Same is like next life is the same. That's why here Nagarjuna says so many, you know, the body, like this body, like taking so many, like we take so many rebirth, but this body ends as ash. So it's ash become dry dust or slim. So nothing is gone, you know. And automatically shit, no essence left. So nothing essence true left in there. Only we say just enlightened beings has like, you know, it's relics. So something precious there left. Some special object, but generally nothing left, okay? It's all gone. That's why, see, shit, no essence left. Nothing essence, no any good, something special can left, anything. Then why you so strong fixation attached to your own this life? Think about it, right? So that's why we so strong fixation attachment, like very temporary things. Our body is very temporary. Okay, so this gives you really good idea. Your mind's opening up, but then sometimes like people misunderstand, like, oh, I don't want to so short life, right? Short life is really good actually. Also, doesn't matter you have a short or long, but no one can stay more than 100 years. Anyone is always short, but we just comparing everything, you know, like dependent. Nothing has a long life, truly. Then say consumed, evaporated. So it goes separate, rooted down. Thus know its nature to disintegrate. So it's become separate, gone. You cannot really hold anything essence there. Permanently, nothing true there. So all is impermanent. Then especially in this time, the life is very dangerous. The whole world is very dangerous. You know, we know that, right? So it's talk about the wars, like if it comes like maybe third war, it's this whole earth is like can be gone. Easy, you know. It's this human beings like become same as the bugs, they just easily die. Who does that? Who created that? Or is earth in the human beings? Human beings going to destroy all the human beings in the earth. Because due to ignorance, that's a reality. It's like samsaric reality, you know. It's so all the history, human beings destroy all the human beings, right? And no, you know, in the future also, the human beings are going to destroy human beings. So that is you cannot change because due to ignorance and the nature of samsara. The tigers are never going to eat whole human beings in the world, okay? Lions are never going to eat all the human beings in the earth. Not going to destroy. Who going to destroy? All human beings destroy each other. And the true, you know, enemies, human beings, each other here. So that's it's the, you know, that's why it's very dangerous. Everything's impermanent, very impermanent. So many warpings in the world. So human being is more worse beings in the samsara, can be the best beings in samsara. You know, supreme beings be in samsara, in the worst beings be in samsara. The wise can be supreme one because you can enlightenment in within samsara. Use the human being's life. You can be worse in samsara because you destroy yourself, destroy others' life. So that's why it's a human being is most danger beings in samsara. Okay, so now we have 56 is finish. So now go to the next one. We are going to share this one. Next 57, then we finish, okay? You need a little bit patience. Nargarjuna say you need patience. You need effort, right? And you need concentration, you know, focus. So then that's why I share you this again. This is your practice, 3 trainings for you. The ground, moon, meru, and the ocean too will be consumed by 7 blazing suns. Of things with form, no ashes will be left. No need to speak of penny fairer mean. So impermanent is, you know, outer level universe is changing. Inner, you know, sentient beings changing, impermanent. Both are impermanent. So inner sentient beings are just told, you know, like we're killing each other, right? And the war, and you know, so impermanent, inner sentient beings. But then outer universe are changing, is more powerful again. What happening is the ground, moon meru, so the, you know, like the earth, moon meru means earth, and oceans too, then oceans too. And we're seeing this earth, but actually, you know, the moon meru has 4 directions. We are sorting part of the moon meru is earth. In this earth, you know, like we don't see the moon meru actually. Moon meru is in the center. So we are sorting part of this moon meru, and then they have earth. And then all direction has, you know, kind of same is like human beings, different universes. I mean, you know, different, it's different universes. So, and the ocean too will be consumed by 7 blazing suns. When 7 suns comes, future, that's like just point is, in this sun is become heated 7 times more heater than this. Okay, so then 7 suns, you can think about. More heater the 7 times. What happened then? All this earth is going to burn, fire, no choice. So not only this earth, we talk about the moon meru, there's a, moon meru we cannot see. But then moon meru also burned too, levels. They talk about the God's realms in the moon meru. So their levels to burn, like only like higher, the God's realm has different levels. Some levels cannot burn. So talk about that in the laws in Abhidhamma, but I don't know that part, what happening, okay? So anyway, just our idea, think about this sun is like weather is always changing, right? It's how to say this, you know, weather condition or element, or you know, all the time change. So that's why, you know, we recognize heat is more hotter than before, right? So we also complain because it's lots this you know, talk about natural disaster, you know, like this environment changing, and then lots of natural disaster we think is for, you know, we create pollutions too. They're also affected too. Pollution is affected, but anyway, pollution affected is not that strong. But anyway, it's changing truly. We change more fast. Okay. So your drive the car example, like go down the here. Even you don't push the car, don't push the gas. Its car is going down. you know, going run, right? Cars going run, go down. But then you push gas more fast. Yeah, same, you know. Anyway, this or the, you know, weather or condition is changing. No one can control that, because think about a long time ago, no pollutions, but anyway already changed. Where they have oceans, there are no oceans, right? Where they have trees, no trees. So that's why you can get lots of oils in the, under the sands, because they have trees long time ago, millions of years ago, I think. So many things different in the earth, so they're all dissolved in the earth. That's why you get oils, right? So everything is changing. But that time we don't create pollutions, but even you don't create pollutions, anyway change. The pollution change, you know, make more fast, I think, changing. Yeah. So no, think about all this changing, whether it's become, you know, it's more hotter and hotter. And one day is this sun is like more hotter 7 times than this. Then that time, this whole universe is going to fire. No possible to survive. So then that time, see, everything is burned. 7 blazing suns of things with foam, no ashes will be left. Even no ashes left in this universe are all gone. No need to speak of penny fearing, means like we are same as the bugs, you know, no any cautions for us. The big fire go to in the forest. Think about the what happened these bugs. No cautions, right? Big animals die, and all this forest is a fire. Then no cautions for bugs. So one day, all these universes burn the fire. No cautions about what happened human beings. So human beings, the same as the bugs in the big fire forest, you know, same is like that. We got just gone. No ashes were left behind. No need to speak of penny fairer means. See, all gone. It's impermanent change. So that's we have to know impermanent. Long as you know this impermanent, it's then, you know, we don't know how long stay in this earth, but we have to stay, enjoy, happy. You know, we don't know how long to stay, right? And you don't know how long be with your, you know, family. So you, long as you be with your family, you just stay like, you know, short moment time is enjoy with together each other. So no reasons then fighting each other, no reasons like grasping, fixation each other, like really good to practice. If you use this method, families become peaceful. And you practice this, your life is changed. This all is a truth, you know, really true and the fact. Logically, you know, we understand truth. That's why it's called teaching. Dharma means truth. If contradict like directly, then you don't have to accept it. That is not Dharma. So that's the we finish it today here. 10 a.m. here. So you already won. So now I'm going to do the dedication, and after dedication, if you have questions, so I can stay a little bit. That's okay for you? If you don't have questions, then, you know, it's okay too. You can, after dedication, you can leave. Dorjen Chang, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Dharma, Lord Gambopa, Pamotropa, and Lord Digompa. Please bestow upon us most auspicious bless our Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may achieve nations by defeating all enemies' confusion. May all who travel on the ways of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent precious mind, where it is humble may it arise, where it is born may not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activities are purified and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Minju the Vero realized automate state and as did the Samantha Bada were following the path and fully dedicated ordinary for sentient beings. By the blessing of Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth, the unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of divisible Sangha order made the Mary Ashe bear fruit. By the virtue collected in three times by my seven or beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the inner rule of virtue, may I endure sentient beings quickly attain answer past perfect, complete and precious enlightenment. May the teachings of Great Gombara Nashir, who is omniscient Lord of Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation, untrained over the samsara. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Okay, any questions? No questions, right?
Kimberly, I have a question.
Oh, yes, Lamin, welcome.
So when the world destroys, everyone is gone, and then all the animal, human are all destroyed. So where is enlightened being, and when will the next Buddha come?
When is the next Buddha come?
Yeah, if everything destroyed.
But destroyed by this earth, they have another universe. So many other.
So when we are destroyed, we will go to the other universe.
I hope we don't go to other universes. I hope we all enlightenment.
So if we enlightened, where are we going?
We no going, no coming enlightenment.
So when everything destroyed, the enlightened being is not destroyed, isn't it?
Yes.
So where is the enlightened being?
Enlightenment in Nirvana.
So where is the Nirvana?
So we can go to Buddha Amitabha. We can go to Buddha Amitabha Pure Lane. So you reach in the Buddha Amitabha Pure Lane, then this elements not affected to there. There's no natural disaster in the Buddha Amitabha Pure Lane.
So what you mean is that if this world is destroyed, all burning fire and everything, that's the other world there, and that's the other element, and that's the other pure land. We really don't have to worry about this world, isn't it?
Yeah, but people who live in this earth is all gone. So no, we worry about even like, one person died, two person died, we worried, right? Everyone's gone. We have more worried actually.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Kimberly.
So if people falling to the lower realm, it's very hard, right? Yeah. So we have to place to go to practice Dharma. This word is a great one too. Do you hear Lami?
Yes. So Kimberly, if this world destroyed, of course, animal, bug, and human are all destroyed. How about God Ram?
God Ram, some levels
God
is
Ram destroyed?
Yeah, some realms destroyed, yes.
Okay.
So,
Thank
but
you, Kimberly.
it's come back again. It's come back again.
Okay.
Take time.
Okay.
And come back again. This is like core universal is like starting, take billions years. And then, the stay is billion years and then distinguishing again and gone. So it's always a cyclic existence, universal too.
Okay. Thank you, Kimberly.
Okay.
Kempo, I think Suzette has a question.
Yes.
So when the what happens if you don't want to become enlightened and you want to be a bodhisattva? And then all these things are, everything becomes destroyed in this planet. Then beings become dispersed. So like the hell realms, they would still be in the hell realms, wouldn't they? When the earth end. And then if you didn't want to become enlightened, but you wanted to remain a bodhisattva, because there would be beings dispersed within multiple universes. So I guess I'm kind of thinking big. So you would you would disperse yourself, you become in a place in a different universe, still continuing to trying to benefit sentient beings, because there would still be sentient beings, wouldn't there? And they would just be in different universes, in different forms.
Oh.
Would there still be like a samsara where
So-
your karma, cause and effect would cause a rebirth in some other place?
Yeah, so it's a, if this universe are gone, so we have so other like billions and other universes.
Right.
Yeah, so you can take birth in that place, or you take birth like other, like don't know where we reborn. Maybe no need to reborn in the samsara again.
Right.
So no, it's like some universes like become starting. We no human beings, no any beings could be starting. One day there can alive beings there. Stay, and then some is decreasing, some is increasing universes. Some is just
Right.
alive, some is starting.
Right.
So we don't know so many this kind of like things beyond our thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't we just like break off into
Kind of
10,000 atoms of
also, it's a being's perception, perception, same perception, born to same land, right? And so just universal is individual own perception are recognized, like the bugs have their own universal, they're together.
okay. Oh, okay. Because of their perception. Yeah, I understand.
So maybe one tree is the universal for the many bugs live in the tree, they eat that and stay in the tree, they don't go up and don't anything, they always within the tree. For them, they're universal for that.
Right.
So you cut down the tree, is all universal is gone, right? For
Right.
them.
Right.
So their perception.
Right.
And so we don't recognize that because of different feeling, different perceptions. We think only just cut down the one tree.
Right.
But in that tree, the many bugs can be there, gone the universal.
Understand.
But then that bugs are only, the thinking about that tree is only in the world, not any other they don't see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some bugs stay inside the tree, so they see only that tree. They don't see other trees. Someone say, oh, not only these trees, so we have so many other trees. They don't know.
Right. So we're like the bugs, and there's many other universes, and we don't know.
Yeah, I think that kind of idea, little understanding. So we just everything is like beyond our perception. We cannot really share that everything perception, right? I think yesterday I talked the last night teaching because everything's own perceptions, fixation. So we think everything's right, but it's you change it, your bodies become different perception.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is time empty as well?
Time is empty means the time is actually not exist.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. Thank
So-
you. Hold on.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Did you want to add to that? The emptiness of time?
I'm okay. I think they have so many information. So like with Nagarjuna, you just told that there is a term, you know, he against one is a term, also no creator. There's some, you know, the term is exist. That's why all this term created the beings, you know, source or something. But he said no, term is no exist.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks everyone. So then see you tomorrow morning again.
Thank you, Kempo.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pala. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
So long, everybody.
Oh, Lama Norba is here.
Yeah, thank you, Lamanova. I see the beautiful
Oh,
Sangha.
Lama Norba is this
Oh, yes.
teacher here in the resident.
Enjoy DKC.